Hey everybody, Erica Serwin here from Pink Buckaroo Designs. I've got a fun little Christmas card for you that uses some non-traditional Christmas colors. I'm using the Yuletide Village stamp set this week on my blog, so if you're looking for more ideas, hop back. I've got 5 projects in total. Now I'm using 2 other stamp sets here. We're going to use the Peaceful Season for the sentiment. I'm really liking this stamp set a lot this season. And then the Falling Snow background stamp that you can see there. Okay. All right, we're going to start with a piece of basic white, and I've got 3 images, the double building image, the single building, and the tree. And we're going to start with this double building, and I'm going to ink it up in Memento, and I'm going to stamp it over here kind of on the left side. All right, now you're also going to want to stamp it on a Post-it note, which I saved mine from the last project. Stamp it on a Post-it note and then cut out the left, the right, and the bottom right along the edge of the image. And you're going to set this down on top of, make sure I get that in the right place, on top of your first image. This is going to block it out, and when we stamp the second image, it's actually going to be behind the building, okay? So now we'll get the tree. I'm going to stamp that right there. And then we'll get the house, or the single building. I don't know if these are houses or stores. And we'll just kind of stamp that, overlapping just a bit like that. Now stamp that second one also on a Post-it note. You know, let me remove this one so you can see what that looks like first. All right, see, look how that's kind of coming out from behind, and that's coming out from behind. And then we'll do the tree again. Really, I'm just concerned about this right edge here because that's where we're stamping. And we'll do the tree there. All right, and that's called masking. And it's a fun way to use your stamps. Get them all lined up. All right, so I decided to go with some non-traditional colors. The first color I'm going to use is Boho Blue. And I'm going to stick with the light here on all of these houses, just to kind of, you know, we don't want it to be too dark. So I'm going to go along the edge very carefully. I am using my bullet tip of my marker. And very carefully go around those windows. We're going to color those windows with a light color, so we don't want to get any of this darker color there on where, you know, where the light color would be. Just work your way around those windows very lightly. And once you get to the bottom, you're just going to kind of lightly go along that edge. Now notice I'm just kind of tapping the color in around. All right, so there we go, and it looks like I lose, no, yep, that's Boho Blue. It looks a little bit different than my sample. I may have used a different color over there, but my intention was Boho Blue. All right, then we'll do light Moody Mauve, and we're gonna do that over here. Again, go really slowly because a lot of this right here is snow, and so if you accidentally get this color in there, it's gonna, you could use your color lifter, but in my experience, if you're leaving a section white, it really is difficult to remove the color from that completely. All right, and down here. Now if you wanted to do these in traditional Christmas colors, of course you totally could. We've got 3 different reds. We've got Real Red, Cherry Cobbler, and Poppy Parade. All 3 would be great Christmas reds. And then you could use Old Olive, which would be a good green, or just use your favorite colors. All right, and then the last one, I am using Lost Lagoon Light. All right, and again, we're just going to carefully go around the windows, tapping that color in ever so lightly along the top. L Lagoon looks pretty with these two other colors. The two other colors are in colors, which means they only stick around for 2 years. And their 2 years will be up this April. So if you like Boho Blue and Moody Mauve, make sure you get them before they're gone. Now we've got a little snowman here. So be careful, go around him. Tap that color in just ever so gently around him like that. All right, now let's use crumb cake light for the doors and the window seals. Carefully around your bow. Now we'll go around this window and this window. You know, I think I'm going to switch to dark crumb cake. Yeah, that's better. I think my light crumb cake is actually on its way out. I use that color so much. I go through crumb cake markers a lot. All right, we'll just go across these windows very lightly. And then, now I've seen these roofs colored different ways. Either it is covered in snow, or this part that I'm coloring right here is the snow. I don't know, I can't decide. So I am making them covered in snow, like that. And then we'll do the chimneys. All right, let's do our trees in Old Olive. I'm going to do Old Olive light. And the trees also look like they may have snow, but I can't really tell the way that they're colored. So I'm just going to color them all the way in with Old Olive and then add a little bit of shading with our dark Old Olive. Okay, and then you can just take your dark Old Olive and just add in some shading underneath some of those lines. Okay, now for the windows, I am using light Wild Week to give them kind of a golden feel. And we can add Wink of Stella to those. To give them, you know, that shimmery, like they're shimmery. All right, let's see. One thing I noticed on my other one that I forgot to do was color the bow on that door. All right, I think that's it. Now, take your paper snips, and we're just gonna cut this out. And we're gonna adhere this to a darker color cardstock. So you wanna cut right along that edge. Usually I say to leave a little bit of a white border, but this time I want you to cut right along the edge. And you know, there are several house images. There's another house and a church actually in this set. So you could do this arrangement differently, or you could even make it longer by stamping these same buildings several times in a row. That would be fun for a scrapbook page. For the card, this is, you could maybe add one more in if your card is long ways. But for the way I have it set, this is about as long as we can get. Now I'm going to go back and get into some of these nooks and crannies, but I'm going to start by cutting off the majority of the paper. These are called paper snips, these scissors. And if you have not heard me sing their praises before, let me just tell you, they are fabulous for fussy cutting, which is what I'm doing. All right, now I'm going to go in there and get those little pieces, trying to remove any white so that when we mount it on our Boho Blue cardstock, it'll look like the night sky behind. There we go. Okay. All right, now we've got some other things to do to our card base. We've got a piece of Boho Blue, and I have my stamp positioning tool here set up with the Snowflake Embossing or background stamp. And you can see I stamped it on my grid paper so that I know exactly where to put it. And I'm going to put just a little tiny bit of adhesive right there so that if I need to lay my stamp down again, my paper will stay in the right place. Let's see, I may need to go a little bit higher. Let's go a little bit higher like that. All right, let's ink it up. And stamp. Okay, that looks perfect. Now, before I put this away, I've got a piece of basic white for the inside, and I'm going to stamp these snowflakes, but not re-ink it because I want it to be light so that we can, write over it. There we go. If you wanted it to be even lighter, let's see, that seems almost still a little bit dark. Stamp it again without re-inking. Oh, there, that's good. And then you've just got a light snowflake for the inside of your card. All right, I have taken a piece of basic white and embossed it with the So Swirly embossing folder. And I am going to put this across here, across the bottom. Let's see. Do I want to use dimensionals? I'm thinking yes. Okay, let's use dimensionals. Sometimes I can't remember exactly what I've done, even if I just made the card. Okay, we're going to put this across the bottom, and then we're going to take dimensionals and we're going to put these dimensionals on the back of here, and we're going to line this up so that it's right at the top edge like that. Now I have already stamped the sentiment on a piece of Misty Moonlight in Versamark and heat embossed it with white embossing powder. And I am going to put these little mini dimensionals here like that, and we'll put that right across. And it looks like my piece is a little bit long, which always seems to be the case. I usually do that on purpose, just in case, it's better to be too long than too short. All right, now I'm going to take my this piece right here, our fully stacked piece, and we'll put one dimensional in each corner. Put that right there. And then on the inside, we're going to repeat this design with a piece of Boho Blue. And then we'll put that lightly stamped snowflake piece on the inside like that. And then last but not least, I thought we needed a little bit of bling, and we can put our rhinestones here like stars. And there you go, from our home to yours. And you know what we could do? Let's take a look at that stamp set. The stamp set has multiple sayings. So you could stamp something on the inside and stamp something on the outside, and they go together. So from our home to yours, wishing you all the things that warm your heart and lift your spirits. That would be nice to stamp right there. Or one of these other ones, thinking of you with warm feelings and a wish for all the merriest. So you could stamp on the inside and the outside. And I didn't do that. And I feel like we should. Let's see if I've got a block big enough. Let's see, which one do I want to use? Let's see, we'll just use this block right here. We'll take this off. Sometimes you just go for it. And we'll stamp that right there. Beautiful. Let's do it on this one too. There you go. All right, you guys, make sure you hop over to my blog, grab that free PDF, and let me know if you have questions. Happy stamping, everybody. Bye-bye.